Welcome to Magical Storybook, a collection of children's stories from around the world. Theseus and the Minotaur. Long, long ago, there was a war between Aegeus, the king of Athens, and Minos, the king of Crete. Aegeus was defeated, and for this he had a dear price to pay. King Minos ordered that every 9 years Aegeus must send 7 young men and 7 young ladies to him to be devoured by the Minotaur, a monster that lived in the labyrinth maze underneath his palace. One day, Aegeus' son, Prince Theseus, was down by the harbour when he saw a crowd of people weeping. 7 young men and 7 maidens were being taken aboard a black-sailed ship which was bound for Crete. "Who are all these people?" he said to a woman in the crowd. "Oh, you poor boy, don't you know? They are to be fed to the Minotaur in Crete. How I pity them." "What is the Minotaur?" asked Theseus. "It's a terrible monster with the body of a giant man and the head of a bull," she said. "It has deadly horns and enormous teeth, and it lives in a deep maze of cellars under the palace of Crete, devouring humans." Theseus shuddered. The woman went on. "They say that there are so many passages down there that no one who enters ever finds their way out." Theseus rushed back to his father's palace. "Father, why must we send these poor people to be sacrificed?" Aegeus explained about the war with King Minos and the price that Athens must pay for losing. "If we do not send these 7 young men and 7 maidens to be fed to the Minotaur, King Minos will start the war again and many more of our people will die." "But what if the Minotaur was killed?" asked Theseus. The king looked at him gravely. "No one has ever come out of the labyrinth alive," he said. "Either the Minotaur killed them, or they are lost forever in the maze." When he heard these words, Theseus said, "I am going to Crete to slay the Minotaur." Once he had persuaded his father to allow him to go, Aegeus said, "If you are victorious, when you are homeward bound, hoist the white sails instead of the black ones. Then I shall see from afar whether I should cheer your victory or cry for your defeat." Theseus agreed and boarded the ship. After many days, the ship arrived at the beautiful island of Crete. Minos was waiting for them with his wife and his daughter Ariadne at his side. The king was surprised to see Theseus among the sacrifices, but the prince explained that he was there to kill the monster and free his country from this cruel debt. Princess Ariadne listened to the spirited prince and begged her father to be merciful, but he would not hear another word and had the prisoners led away to the dungeon. Just before midnight, the door was opened, and Ariadne quietly crept in, holding a torch. "I want to help you," she whispered. "I cannot help you slay the Minotaur, but I can help you escape from the labyrinth." She handed Theseus his sword, which the guard had taken from him. Then she handed him a ball of thread. "Hide this under your robe," she said. "When you enter the maze, tie one end to a pillar and unwind it as you walk through the dark corridors. It is your only way of finding your way back out once you have killed the Minotaur." He took the thread and thanked Ariadne. The next day, Theseus, the 7 young men, and the 7 maidens were led to the entrance of the labyrinth, where they were locked in and plunged into darkness. Theseus told the others to stay by the entrance while he tied the end of the string to a pillar and went in search of the Minotaur. He felt his way through the maze of narrow passages, trailing his fingers along the walls of the damp rock as he went. Further on, a little light crept down through the palace floor, and he saw with horror that he was stepping on the bones of the victims who had been there before. As he turned a corner, he heard a deafening roar and found himself face to face with the terrifying monster. On seeing Theseus, the Minotaur lowered its sharp horns and charged forward. It missed Theseus and hit the wall, bellowing as one of its horns broke off and fell to the ground. Theseus drew his sword and a terrible fight broke out, and the two fought sword to horn for a long time. The Minotaur charged again, and Theseus caught him off guard, hurled himself onto the beast and slayed it with his sword. After taking a moment to recover, Theseus fumbled for the dropped thread and followed it back through the winding passages, until at last he found himself back at the entrance. There, waiting for him, along with the others, was Ariadne. "Thanks to you, Ariadne," he said, "I return victorious." There was much joy among the group before Ariadne said, "You must hurry, for my father will be vengeful if he discovers that you've killed the Minotaur." Ariadne showed them to a secret door, and through it they escaped to the shore where the ship was waiting. By the time the guards had found the dead Minotaur, the ship was far out to sea. King Aegeus was standing on a cliff, anxiously waiting for the boat's return. But in his sorrow at leaving Ariadne behind, Theseus forgot to change the sails from black to white. When Aegeus saw the black sails, he was filled with sorrow, thinking that his son had been killed. Legend says that the sad king jumped into the sea and didn't come out again, and that is why this sea is called the Aegean Sea today.